Need a hat, 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 hat. Ooh. Welcome, everyone.
Whoa.
I'm pushing all kind of buttons.
You are. Welcome to another exciting episode of Feel It Real Fun. We're 5 minutes late. Feel It Real Fun for you on the 4th of March 2022.
Oh, great. They're going to let me
Your
know every
manifesting
single
questions
time I do
answered
that.
live. Yes, Emmett and Bruce, that's right.
Need a hat, hat.
So go to freeneville.com.
Hat. Sorry.
Subscribe to the 221 email list and get a pseudo-random email every single day until you or 20 die.
We're sending out a special invitation for Dream Driven Day later on today. All right, so you guys that have already joined, we know you joined. Just
You
ignore
don't have
it.
to join again.
Yeah, but you don't have to. Well, you can.
You can pay twice if you want, but
Yeah, absolutely.
no.
Doobie
That's
doo.
dreamdrivenday.com.
Ba,
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's radio.
Like I think it was Luke did, or whatever his name was.
My name is Luke.
Was it Luke? It was someone like that.
I don't know. We had a lot sent up yesterday.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. Yo, faith.
Wow,
Faith,
I've got
faith,
something going on in my eye.
faith.
We got faith.
Yo, Mal, smoking tomorrow? Boom.
Yay,
I checked.
boom in the room.
Mal's high and dry, by the way.
High and dry.
Yeah, a little bit of leakage, but Mal's good.
What do you mean leakage?
Well,
What?
he lives where it's all rainy and wet and shit.
Oh, yeah, no, we asked him that. Did he get his cigars, though?
Don't know.
Maybe you got a
Go,
cigar.
go. Ooma. All these Triple D kids, yo.
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Hello, Amber
Music
and
and
Evelyn.
passion were always Cortez's
Cortez.
here too. And I think, we
Okay.
start out with Cortez's questions in there somewhere.
But we don't
You're
start
nowhere
with
near the top, pal.
No.
Sorry.
Cool.
Anyway, let's dive in, Victoria. All the cool
okay,
kids
I'll
are here.
just say really briefly, for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
He says,
What's he say?
not yet, but they're in country. That's right.
Security lockdown.
That's right. See, I think when they get here, that's when they grow the tobacco. You know what I mean? It's like unbelievable.
Don't get it.
Well, it's like so slow. Like they put.
Oh,
them
I
in.
know. Yeah, they got to grow them, then
Yeah.
pick them, then roll them, then...
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Hand rolled on the armpits of Victorian nuns.
Yuck. Okay, so the
All right.
first question is from Klara on Facebook. Teaching kids.
This is going to be great, Klara, because I can relate to you.
Okay, and Klara asked, Dear 2020, I'd like to ask you one thing. I'm an athlete trainer of 12-year-old kids, but many of them don't have confidence. How can I help them to achieve confidence in themselves?
Cool. So in Triple D, I'm going to do a lot of crass commercials today because, like, seriously, look how many people here that are Triple D folks that have changed their lives with it. Enough said. Type in Triple D if you've done it, right? Just let us know, right? Boom,
Yeah.
Darkery is here.
Hello, Dark Mockery.
Ready? Cool. In Triple D, I mentioned I'm not a fan of confident. I am not. Can you tell how confident I am in that? I'm a fan of curious because when you become infinitely curious about what's possible for you, then you discover how you can get there. You know what I mean? DDD times 2, says Amber. That's right.
Yeah.
Boom in the room. And this is the cool thing. Whenever you get the power of curiosity, because when I became curious about who I could be, married to her, when I became curious about who I could be, being a loving puppy dad, right? Yeah, that moves you forward, that gets you engaged. See, little babies, right? They learn how to walk without knowing how to walk. They learn how to walk by wiggling. They're curious about what's possible. They're curious about where the fuck they're going to go, right? Like, oh, I can get out of the room. What's outside of there without mommy? This is going to be good fun. As a child, you learned language without knowing a language.
I know.
See, most people can't learn a good language once they get older, right? But you learned a language without knowing a language. Why? Because you were curious about that. You weren't confident. I can learn a language. So if you want them to be confident, get them curious about what's possible once they achieve something, once they experience something. See, I was infinitely curious when I was a young man about what it was like to kiss a girl. Because kissing my pillow wasn't much fun.
It was a good experiment, like to begin with. Do you
Well,
know
if
what I
you
mean?
like feathers.
To learn. Well, yeah.
Anyway,
Bruce does.
now we're going to continue. So, Klara, stay tuned. But how do you get them curious? There's the number one thing to me. And by the way, you can always imagine them like differently. That was my big thing because we had this young fella come into my class. So when I was about your age, I was teaching youngsters karate, right? Kempo karate. It would one young fella come in, JP, and JP would always like try to come in late so he didn't have to do all the warm-up exercises because he was fat. And so it's like radio. So JP helped me realize something. I need a penalty for when you're late. So every minute you're late, you do 10 push-ups, right? So JP comes in 10 minutes late. That's 100 push-ups, fat boy. Right? So of course his mom
was never late again.
Well, yeah. So it turns out he spends half the class doing push-ups, right? And then his mom comes in, who had a crush on me, right? Yeah, mom was just not my kind of woman, by the way. So mom's like, why isn't little JP doing all this well? And I said, well, yeah, because little JP's like showing up 10 minutes late. It takes him an hour and a half to do push-ups. By then we're done. So he doesn't have time to learn nothing, right? So JP starts showing up on time. Next thing you know, JP now is a professional bodybuilder, right? He's like a professional fitness guy.
Wow.
Right? So so I follow him on the Facebook. I stalk all my old students, right? From decades ago. Right? If I know you exist, right? You're one of my 5,000 friends on Facebook. But I look and I mean, like he'll sit around. He's got his girlfriend under his arm, some chick sitting on his shoulder. I have no idea what all they're into, right? But he's super fit now. And I go, alrighty-o, right? So that's it. You get to become curious about what's possible. So, Ego, Triple D, welcome to the show.
Cool.
By the way, we've got an open call for...
Remarkable.
No. Not like right now going on.
Sorry.
Like if you've been in Triple D or MM, type it in, right? Just for fun. Let's just flood the comments just because I think it'd be fun. And I want more people to sign up for Triple D. So I want people to go, you know what? I want to be like Ego. So I'm signing up for Triple D, right? So let's go. Let us continue, Victoria.
Okay.
Poppy's here.
Hello,
Welcome,
Poppy.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, Klara, for your question.
Look at that, Terry Morris. Tardy.
The next question's from Shilpa on Facebook. What does Neville Goddard say a state is? And Shilpa asks, would you please help me understand what state or being, getting into a state means?
Every now and then, I just want to kiss her. You know what I mean? Like, I just look over at her. This morning, you see, I'm going to the dog park this morning, right? And she told me, she goes, I'm not going. I says, that's fine. Right? I expect you to, like, bail on me once in a while, right? But I get in the car, and I'm watching her open up the swing gate, right? And as Victoria's open up the swing gate, I'm looking at the muscles in her legs. And, like, the state of loving puppy dad just goes far, far away for a moment. It's just like, whoa. Of course, I yell out the door, or out the window of the car. I yell, woman. Right?
He didn't say woman, but he said something like...
I felt that.
Something about your legs.
So, whoa. Right?
Yeah.
So, a state is, let's call a state an identity. A state is a mood, right? So, like, right now, primarily the mood of loving, happy teacher's taken over. And, like, I'll answer questions. State of loving husband's still here because, damn, I'm just right next to her. Right? And that's what's fun because when you look at states as identities, BMW owner, right? Thinks very differently about a BMW than someone who's, I'm blessed enough to drive a BMW today. This will be the best day of my entire life. I drive a BMW every fucking day. Right? I'm thankful I do. Right? But it's not like I'm like, having an orgasm and shitting myself every time or like when I sit in my car because it's a once in a lifetime thing. Not a fan of that. Tabitha, welcome to the show. Right? So here's the thing. A state is like a mood. It's an identity. It's something where I can go, hey, there's my loving puppies. Look at them. See, I'm actually in the state of loving puppy dad and the state of loving teacher at the same time.
Yeah.
Which leads us to one other thing. See, what Neville taught was different. A lot of people go, right, a state is like a vibrational alignment. You can only align to one thing at a time. You can only give life to one thought at a time. Oh, I just proved that I could appreciate. See, I can give life to all three of my primary states right now. I can be like, ooh, Victoria. And I can use it as an example while I'm teaching and paying attention to the loving puppies. All right. So you don't have to wait years to get one versus the other, that kind of thing. You can have more than one thought at a time. By the way, I love that one. You can only have one thought at a time. Right. Right. In other words, what are you doing while you're eating your cheeseburger and a woman sits down next to you? Like, do you die? Yeah. Like, do you choke on the cheeseburger? No, you keep chewing and swallowing. You know, that's a state. Chew and swallow. But anyway, let's continue.
Okay, cool. Excellent, yes.
Thanks for asking. Oh, yeah, sorry. We're going to keep answering your question as we continue with Ego on today's show.
Okay, thanks, Shilpa, for your question. The next question's from Marcus in Manifesting Mastery. Wow, Marcus in Manifesting Mastery.
I tell you
all
what,
that
boy, you can
alliteration.
imagine how much fun I had typing that
I
in.
know, you would have loved it. Manifesting debt-free and being wealthy. And Marcus asks, I began this journey motivated to get out of debt. I've been imagining congratulatory conversations in this regard. You're debt-free. Now I'm noticing my desires expand to be not just out of debt, but rather in a state of abundant wealth.
Oh,
Nice. Can you point me in the right direction? How do I specifically move into that self-concept or state?
Notice how this question answers the previous question.
Yeah, so Shilpa, listen up.
Yeah, listen up, Shilpa.
Obviously, I want
sorry.
my debts paid, but I want so much more than just that. Now that I feel this shift, my imaginal acts will also shift. What happens to all my prior imaginal acts mentioned above, as in the debt-free congratulatory conversations? Will they miscarry?
This is so good. Ready? So here's the cool thing, right? There's sequence and predication. I love saying big words. I feel so fucking intelligent when I talk with big words, right? So there was, what was that? Sequence. That is not a big word. And predication. Predication. So as we talk about the predication nation, yo. So here's the thing, right? There's sequence, right?
Yes.
Like Dr. Brian. I love Dr. Brian, right? He is the doctor of not only verbs, adverbs, and adjectives. Great post, by the way. You didn't see it because you didn't.
Facebook free.
Yeah, she's Facebook free, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so sequence. Breakfast tends to come before lunch, which tends to come before dinner.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I can imagine before I get out of bed, I do my Joseph Goddard. It includes some really mundane things, like really enjoying my coffee. Because for some people, making coffee is a traumatic and dramatic experience. I mean, we get the phone calls. You wouldn't believe how many hours it took me to make a coffee. I'll tell you over the next 4. It's like, let me get this right. It took you 2 hours to make coffee and you're making a 4-hour conversation about it? Not even a conversation, a monologue. How do you turn a 2-hour trauma, or 2-hour trauma into a 4-hour drama, right? I mean, I sit there with rapt
the other way
attention,
around.
right? Being a writer, I go, how do they do this? This is wonderful, right? But anyway, but I imagine up a yummy coffee right before I get out of bed, before the heat hit the floor, right? Boom, right? Brian likes them in reverse. You talking about women's again? Or at least Ashley. Don't want to know. Closing my eyes. I don't want to see mommy and daddy do that. Right?
Yeah, that's a toughie, isn't it?
Yeah,
that
that's a
imagining your mum and dad in like lust.
Mom and dad made me. This is why I can't visualize, right? I opened the door at the wrong fucking time. Anyway, slam it. I also imagine that Victoria is young, because we tend to not drink coffee together. Let's just be honest, right? She's got her things she does, I do my things, right? Right, I'm in the chair, she's in the bed.
We have them roughly at the same time, but
but not in the same location, right?
That's right.
That's right. So, but we can also imagine up dinner. So imagining up dinner doesn't dissolve lunch, doesn't solve breakfast. Now here's the cool thing. So you've imagined being debt-free. Now here's the cool thing. And abundant wealth. So if you doubled your income, worked half the time, doubled your income, worked half the time again, naturally your wealth would go, or your wealth, your debt would go away, right?
Yeah.
Plus, here's the thing. If you're, as long as you've nailed like the debt's gone, whatever.
The debt's gone.
Gone.
Oh, gone.
Gone.
Yes.
Right? I wouldn't worry about it. You know, like here's the thing. By the way, Neville says your imaginal act creates, sustains, and destroys. I'm roughly paraphrasing here, but I love that because, like, literally, you give life to something, you sustain something, and if you stop imagining, it dies. So as long as I imagine being a loving BMW owner, right, we'll not only have one, but 2 now.
Yeah. I wonder what'll happen next year. Anyway,
Yeah,
got you.
absolutely.
So that's like with when the question about the prior imaginal acts where they miscarriage, you're saying as long as you
As long as you
stop
don't.
giving life to them.
Yeah, as long as you. I
Yeah.
mean, like, of course I'm debt free. I make fuck tons of money.
Yeah.
You get it's two different wishes, but it's one attitude,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Of course, I had a great breakfast. Next,
Okay, got you.
Jan
Yeah, that's
Marie
8.
is watching.
Ace.
Boom.
Good one. All right. Thank you, Marcus, for your question.
In my head,
The
head,
next
head.
question's from now is it that's Gail, not
Oh
Galaxy.
no, it's goalie.
Goldie, sorry, I can't read. The next question's from Goldie on Facebook. How do I imagine what I haven't had? And we've had this question a few times in a way, but
Absolutely.
it's
This is always a great one to revisit.
It is. So Golly asks, what do you imagine when you have never experienced something? I can't feel and imagine how it feels to be happy, loving wife. I can't imagine living with someone. What do you imagine then?
Right. You see, if you had, let's say you've never had pizza from the Black Benjamin Franklin up the road here.
Yeah.
And I love Black Benjamin Franklin. That's how he was introduced to me. So, like, I'm Black Benjamin Franklin. I'm like, I love you, right? Yeah, he was just fun, right? So how do I imagine having had a good pizza, a great pizza, a satisfying pizza from Black Benjamin Franklin when I've never had one from Black Benjamin Franklin, right? How do I do that, right?
Got you.
All right. Yeah, because I've had yum before. Again, what would imply that I enjoyed it? Probably I'm telling Victoria, I know you don't like pizza, right? But, right? So that kind of thing. So what conversation would imply that it was a great pizza? Me telling her, fudge, right? Or me walking back in, right? So you could do this in real time because time is real, right? You give life to it. So I could actually, while I'm talking there for the first time with the Black Benjamin Franklin, I could imagine like telling him how damn good it was. A lot of people that go in and they imagine, oh, I hope I don't have to complain to you too, because the last time I didn't get something that I didn't like because I took my time ordering it sideways.
So it's a bit like you could imagine telling him how damn good it was. Like
Yeah,
as a
before
loving
I-
wife,
but-
I could imagine telling you what a damn good husband you are.
That's right. Absolutely. Right?
Right.
See, if you're going to go on a first date and you
Yeah.
were anticipating things going really well, right? So, and you've never been on a good first date or date,
Yeah.
period, right? So what do you imagine? You imagine her telling her friends tomorrow about how good her night was. Boom, right? Because you've heard people telling other people good things.
Yeah, I mean, you witness some couples out there. I know a lot aren't happy. But you can imagine some happy, loving wives
In their
and couples
head.
and see them, and it's like, oh, yeah. Like, so you don't, you know what it looks like. You know what it must feel like to be like that, even though you can't imagine, you feel like you can't imagine yourself like that.
Joe Weldon and I were talking about this yesterday, and it's like, yeah, and what came up was like what people see when they see us as a happy, loving couple, right? So it's like, so when Joe tells me that, right? Again, there's an imaginal act, So it's like when people, are happy that you're happy, right? Here's one more. Ready? What would you lack? Right? So it's like, I've been fat all my life. I want to get thin. All right. So you've never been thin. Nope. Cool. That's good. How do you imagine being thin? What would you lack? Well, I'd lack feeling like shit about myself. All right. Let's start there. What else would you lack? Well, I'd lack being able to only take 2 pair of pants on vacation. I could take 4. All right. So then you'd have more outfits. So what would you lack? Lack is such a fantastic one because owning a car means I lack having to go, hey, I should call my buddy Dom up so I can get out of the house today. Or maybe I can find out, Victoria,
Walk
can I
to
have the car?
railway station.
Walk to the place, talk at the place. Yeah, but I got my own damn car. What would I lack if I got my own damn car?
Yeah.
Right? Boom. So, but stay tuned. We're going to keep answering this in some cool
Yeah, that's
ways.
actually, I've forgotten about that one. That's a really cool question.
You lacked memory or lacked to
What do
remember
I
that?
lack?
Yeah, what do you
What
lack?
would I lack?
What would I lack?
Yeah.
Radio.
Yeah, I like that.
Ego loves the lack thing. Lack thing, baby.
Okay, so that was for Golly. Thank you very much for your question, Golly.
All right. Finally,
Yes. The next question's from Cortez on Facebook. Imagining health for another who can't. And Cortez asks, how to imagine health for a parent or someone other than yourself who is struggling to see it for themselves?
Alrighty. So, how would you feel? See, I always let it be all about me. Always, always, always. So I'm sort of guessing too. So you're imagining that parent or someone other than yourself still struggling. So it's like, I mean, like when you go to talk to them, are you anticipating that conversation?
So that's your imaginal act.
Yeah, so that's your imaginal act.
And what would you like if you didn't think that way?
See, what would you like, right?
Exactly.
So, right, the phone rings and you see it's, hey, it's...
yeah, exactly.
I'm so happy you called, right? Versus like, yo, I told Victoria the other day, again, my mom and I have, I would call it a very interesting track record, right? I didn't always get along with my mom. And I told her just the other day, I says, it's been about 5 days since I've texted my mom, right? Boy, I got to tell you, there have been times where it's like, hey, it's been about 5 minutes since I've talked to my mom. Right? Yeah. I'm a different guy now, right? I'm happy to talk to her. I'm looking forward to chatting with her, sending her photos of what the fuck are they doing? Anyway, happy loving puppy dad. All right. So, like, what are you imagining about them? There's the big thing, right? Just because they haven't doesn't mean they can't. And also, if you may be projecting a little bit of seeing onto them, right? That's also why I mentioned feeling, because, they may not process things all that visually, right? So they can't see their own health. Maybe there's someone that would hear something that would make a difference, right? But none of that matters. So when you make it all about you, it's like, right, how would you feel knowing that mom and dad...
Sorry, guys.
Somebody actually touched the door. This is so much fun. So... So we'll wait. This is going to be good fun. All right, so I'll just do-wop, do-be-do-be-do, do-wop. Brian, doctor, verbs. That's it. And adverbs and adjectives. When you look at the caller ID, oh, fuck, what's this going to be about? Boom. By the way, so who the fuck was it?
Chill.
Oh, they actually delivered something. That's great.
They delivered it to the door.
All right. We order things, and they actually bring it to the house now, because I decided this whole thing of like me going places to pick shit up when I order it to come to my door, unacceptable.
Sorry about that, you
All
guys.
right. Was it my birthday gift?
Yes.
Yay!
You're not getting it until April.
So who the fuck was it?
No, sorry.
By the way, so here's the thing, right? So let's go back to the debt thing, because I actually hear this quite a bit. It's like, Mr. 20, what do I imagine to get out of debt? I says, cool. Well, you stop imagining it's the fucking sheriff at the door.
Yeah.
Right? Boom, boom, boom. Shit,
Yeah.
Don't arrest me during the fucking show. Right? You get it? Seriously. All right. I used to go to sheriff sales, right? So back in Pennsylvania,
Sheriff sales.
Yeah, so back in Pennsylvania, like they had these things called sheriff sales. In other words, if you didn't pay your bills,
they can't pick stuff up.
They'd enter a judgment against you after a court thing, and then the sheriff would go sell all your shit. Right?
Oh, yeah, because they'd repossess your stuff.
So like, this is fucking great. Because I read a Dave Delgado ad. I'm like, you could buy TVs for $1. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm going to become the TV fucking king of Fayette County. So I go to the Fayette County sheriff sale thing, and so it's like, all right, fellas, where are we going today? And they're like, are you serious? Yeah. I want to go on the sheriff sales thing because you guys are going to sell it and I'm going to buy it. And the deputies are looking at me like, are you insane? So we went to Craig Crackhead's house, right? He owed money, and Craig had a little 9-inch TV that was on the list
With a smashed screen.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, who wants to have a bid on this? The only guy that's here. You interested? No. Right, so we went to 3 fucking places, right? And they were all the same. It's like, this is all the same dumb shit. There are people that have nothing, and their shit's being auctioned for nothing, right? And it's like, rightio. But they were imagining something, right? Like having a 7-inch TV is a big deal. But let's continue, Victoria.
Okay, cool. So that was for Cortez.
Yeah, with bonus points.
Yeah,
just for Cortez.
Just for you. Sorry about that, Cortez. Thanks very much for your question.
Do-wop, Ba-doo-be-doo-be-doo.
And now we've got a few without titles, so we'll work them out as we go.
Oh, this is great. They said something about driving record.
Okay. So Mayra in Manifesting Mastery has asked about driving record. Mayra asks, I have a speeding ticket that when I called to pay, they said it didn't exist. But then I got the bill in the mail. It's affecting me getting hired. How can I make it go away from my record? Can you all imagine a good driving record for me? I no longer rush anywhere. I'm the safest driver out there.
All right. Coolio. It doesn't matter. See, here's the cool thing, right? So you may or may want to have a clean driving record. It doesn't really matter, right? See, by the way, I have this thing. I like having a clean driving record. So I always drive like 1K under the speed limit everywhere. Drives her nuts. It really does, right? So like I'm the grandpa, right? I got my 5-speed BMW. I will school tire around the roundabout once in a while. That gets my little jollies off, right? Hashtag little jollies, right? But I drive like a grandpa except for that, right? Just because I like having a clean driving record. That's just me, right? Like when the police do pull me over, which is like once every 2 years or so, like on a random stop or something.
On a random Tuesday.
Yeah, on a random Tuesday. Like they pulled me over once on New Year's Day. Right?
Oh, wow.
I could just tell they were out doing predatory
Well, they'll be
pullovers,
doing that
right?
on New Year's Day.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So they pulled me over. I stick my hands out the window, right? Because I'm an ex-cop, right? So I stick my hands out the window. Instantly,
Both of them?
Yeah, both hands out the window, right? So instantly their fucking alert level goes way the fuck up, right? And so the one stays back at the car and calls it in. The other one walks up. And I just told him, I said, yeah, retired cop, just trying to make you feel safe. Right? And suddenly, like, boom, we have a conversation. It was good fun, right? But anyway.
Actually doesn't here in Australia.
I know. But that's the fun thing.
No one does that.
No one does that. Meanwhile,
Okay.
right? So, but I like whenever the other guy comes up and says, yep, that's the right guy, right? Because they run me through the computer and shit, right? So, yeah. And I, of course, I've got to ask, how's my driving record? He goes, perfectly clean, sir. Says, thank you. Appreciate that, right? So I just want to know, right?
Yeah.
I like confirmation. But if you want a clean driving record, that's one wish. On the other hand, if you want a job, what would imply that you got the job?
Yeah.
Right? Don't worry about the driving record because,
Yeah.
seriously, look at me. Right, I've been hired for all kinds of shit that I have not been qualified for. Restorative nursing, banking. I'm a pretty good sales guy now, but I wasn't back in the beginning. It's like, I'm going to try sales. You have any experience in what? Right? You can imagine how that went. She did accounting for like, what, a decade?
Yeah.
Right? You got a qualification?
Or more, actually.
Yeah, or more. Yeah, if you look at it all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She just answered an ad and said, "Yep, they looks like they make good money."
Yeah.
She imagines
I'll be an
something,
accountant.
right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's not stopping you from getting the job. If they say it is, they say what they say,
Yeah.
right? All kinds of impossible things have happened in my life because I stick my hands out the window when I shouldn't. So. Stay tuned, Mayra.
Yeah.
We're going to keep answering this with the other questions.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
Like, seriously,
Thank you, Mayra.
you should have seen the second cop coming up to the car, and the first one's flagging him back, like he's doing the wave. There's a wave that cops do, right? It's the smooth sailing wave, right? So when the other one's coming up, he gives him the smooth sail, right?
What's the other one when it's not a smooth sail?
Oh no. Well,
You
no, when
haven't seen that wave?
when you're going down the road and you see another cop, you give each other the smooth sail. Right?
All right.
So I still do it, and then they do it back, which is fun. It's like, who the fuck is that? Anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Inner circle code, guys. You guys just learned a secret.
Yeah, there you go. You can drive around all day doing that to them.
Do the smooth sail.
Smooth sail.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So, do we know the title of the next one?
Entangled.
Okay.
We'll expand on it, but we'll call it Entangled for now.
Okay, so the next question's for Susanna in Manifesting Mastery.
Susanna.
Entangled Desires. Susanna says, so I have desires that seem to be entangled. I want or desire X, and I want or desire. Why? They're about two different areas of life. But when doubts hit me about being able to have one of them, I automatically start doubting in the other one and I enter anxiety zone. I asked myself some questions and figured out that I seem to want both these desires only if they come together.
So here's what's cool. Ready? So a long time ago, right, in a galaxy so seemingly far, far away, Victoria and I had a discussion or two, right?
Yes.
And it involved a couple things like, right?
Yes.
Yes. Look at him hump him. The other one just sits there. Anyway, right? So, loving husband, loving teacher, loving puppy, dad. Now, I'm going to do a crass commercial for something different, manifestingtothemax.com. In manifestingtothemax.com, I talk about the power of purposes, and I use an example of 3 interrelated states: loving husband, loving teacher, loving puppy, dad. As time went on, I added in loving happy teacher. Because loving frustrated teacher is not a good place to go. Loving frustrated husband?
Yeah.
Loving frustrated puppy, dad. That's
Loving
called being sacrificial.
Shitty husband?
Yeah.
Not so good.
Shitty loving husband. I love you, but I treat you like shit, woman. Right?
Yeah.
Now, you'll notice loving happy husband, loving happy teacher, loving happy puppy, dad, all are very different areas of life, but they've got a core quality, don't they? Right. Now, here's the thing. I think most people get I'm a loving guy. Some people don't. Let's just be honest, right? Some people look at me and they go, that guy's a moron. But I like him for some reason because I'm loving, right? But loving is one of my core things. From what I can tell, what we are is love. And I find being loving very nice, even though I can appear pretty rough sometimes. Sometimes I'm like Thor. I love with a hammer, right?
Yeah. It can
Boom.
seem like that.
Yeah, it can seem like that, right? Yeah. But here's the cool thing. So you've discovered what it's like to be, let's say, if we take the word loving out and we stick the word doubt in, or actually the experience of doubt. So I could have doubting husband, doubting teacher, doubting puppy, dad. Well, is that really a dog? Right? Doesn't look like a dog, right?
Yeah, I can imagine, like, for me as a girl, because I think Susanna is a girl, but I can imagine,
Yes.
for example, that, well, actually, that's interesting. Like, I could imagine anyway as a girl thinking, well, I'd love to be a mum.
And a
I'd love
wife.
to be a wife.
Yep.
But I don't want to be a wife
Without being a
unless I
mother.
can be a mum, and the
Right.
reverse.
Right.
I don't want to be a mum without being the wife.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
So you get around a 2-year-old and you crack the shits. Right, there's no fucking way I can handle that. And then it's like, well, like if I can't handle a 2-year-old, how could I handle a guy? Fuck.
Yeah.
And suddenly,
Yeah.
But it's all about doubt. There's
Yeah.
the thing. So you've got this overall arcing state of doubt. That's like, right?
Got you. That's actually really cool.
So you ever go out with someone who's in the overarching state of doubt? I love these ones. Hey, let's go get lunch. All right, what are you getting? Item number 7. Right? Triple D people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And what are you getting? The same thing I always get, but I'm going to take 45 fucking minutes to order
Read
it.
every other
And I'm going to read
item.
every other item,
Yeah.
and I'm going to ask 42 questions about everything I don't want. Just to be
know.
sure. Just
Oh,
to
my
be
mum,
sure.
whenever we go out, of course she loves chai lattes, so she'll go, oh, I'm thinking of having a chai latte. So the waitress is there waiting, like everyone else is waiting to place their order, right? But
45.
do you make a good one? It's like, well,
No,
what am I going to
no,
say?
ours is
No?
total
It's
shit.
shit.
Right.
Like, yes, I think it's great, but
So
you
it-
might not.
So
but-
it's good according to you. Do you have good taste? No?
exactly.
Right. Are you married? Yes. Are you happily married? I have always
crazy.
found men to be unreliable. Do you find men to be unreliable? What the fuck are we talking about?
I know. Anyway, half an hour later,
Meanwhile-
you're okay, I'll try the chai. Seeing as you say it's okay.
Meanwhile, 20 has finished item number 7 and is on his way back to the car.
That's right.
What the fuck was the question? Oh, yeah. Entangled desires, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the
the
overarching
overarching-
doubt bit.
Yep.
I reckon that is
Cool.
excellent.
If you got gold from that, manifestingtothemax.com.
Yeah.
Seriously, there is so much. There's 9 modules in that course. One of them is revision to the max, right?
Yeah.
So if you all got that revision to the max thing, that's 1/9 of manifesting to the max.
Yeah.
And in there, we really explore the whole thing of, I call it the power of purposes. It has to do with the three primary states, identity-based manifesting, how it all weaves together. And if you want to explore weaving in some really cool ways, dreamdrivenday.com. The doors are open. About 1/3 of the seats are gone. Why? Because some people take action. And that's you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, boom. All right.
Excellent.
Susanna, stay tuned. We're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Taya says my mom does this.
I know. I saw that.
Look at that.
But
she's a sister
I don't know
from
if it
another
frustrates you as much
sister.
as me, but I tell you what. Maybe I've had longer at it.
Gives you plenty of time to smoke. Oh, mom's going to order. I'm going to go have a cigarette.
I should do that. I'll leave you with her.
Yeah, I'll be back before you're done. All right.
Yeah. Oh,
Susanna,
Susanna,
cool. You're welcome. Hope that made it clear as mud. We'll keep going with it, though. But seriously, that overarching state thing, notice if doubt shows up anywhere. Like, seriously. And if this whole overarching thing, manifestingtothemax.com. Boom.
Okay. And the next question is from Marsha.
I swear to God, I put titles in there. It just mustn't have updated.
Christianity, maybe, versus Neville or something.
Yeah, we'll just say Marsha's question. And
Okay, Marsha's question.
You can put it in from
and I'll put it in
the
right.
notes. Right.
So Marsha asks, if those you love don't believe the way you do and were brought up Christian, is there a way to manifest the best way to approach them?
Absolutely. Coolio. So they always say, don't talk money, religion, or politics at the table, right?
Well, this is like with your mum, because she's very Christian.
Oh, absolutely. My mom is uber Catholic.
Yeah.
Right. This is why we didn't get along for decades. Until seriously, we didn't. Right.
Well, true.
We'd get along in small bursts.
And you manifested the best way to approach
her.
So yeah, because now you've got a tremendous.
I got a great relationship with my mom. Right. Like, but seriously, for decades, we'd be like, all right, we're doing good. I got my positive attitude on. I'm listening to some John Prine and the 318i. And suddenly it's like I will never fucking pick her up again, right? She can get a fucking taxi, right? Yeah. I'll give her money for the taxi. I'll give her $2,000. She can get taxis all she fucking wants.
Yeah.
Because I'd lose my mind. Because I imagine something. Now here's the cool thing, ready? Just imagine them exploring. Imagine them getting this. And it'll wiggle into their paradigm. It may destroy their paradigm. It may help them realize what their paradigm really is. And that to me is the cool thing with this, because when I stopped imagining conflict, I started experiencing what most people would call connection. And oh my God, this is so cool, because it can be men's versus women's. You women's don't understand, right? See, or it could be like I'm spiritual, they're religious. It could be Republican, Democrat. It could be, right? But when you really, hi Jess, when you really get, you know what? What's your desire for them? I just imagine them happy. I imagine them exploring this, and they'll find their own way too. That's cool. And if you want to talk about it, see, I found some.
Do you even have to do you imagine them actually exploring this, or just imagine them happy? Because that feels a little bit like
depends what my desire
your
is.
stuff. But yeah, okay.
Because sometimes my desire might be for Tony Doyle is in the house. Yeah, it might be for someone to explore deeper. Like if somebody shows up one of our groups, I've got pretty much a default imagining for you. When somebody shows up and they manage to post or comment or something, I'm imagining you getting this. Because you're here, I might as well imagine that. I don't necessarily imagine someone getting their desires. I have done that. I do that a lot, but I imagine more importantly you getting how you get your desires, right? So otherwise it's like, my buddy telling me, he goes, well, you could order it for me. He says, I ain't ordering it for you. You can get online yourself. Amazon.com.au. It's not hard, right? Couple dots, couple letters, put in your credit card. I'm not putting in my credit card. Well, guess what? You're going to do this thing called drive all over creation and waste a lot of petrol, because all you got to do is what all you got to do. Now, here's the cool thing. For some folks, I mean, like I do, I meet them, I imagine them, happy. How would I feel if they were healthy? Cool. That's nice. On the other hand, some people I meet and they want to learn about this, and or they're curious about the way things work, or they're telling me, you know what, positive thinking makes a difference. I sort of remember when they used to think that, and imagine them noticing something more accurately. Because what seems like a positive thought is only something created by a state, or it's a parrot. So, but let us continue, because that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, just, by the way, if you imagine religious people not getting this, that's an imaginal act. I imagine it doesn't matter what they are. I just imagine people exploring this and discovering, wow, I just realized something. Like, here's an imaginal act. I just realized something. Like, where I come from is what happens in my life. You notice that doesn't say anything about God, the imagination, visualization. It's like, where I come from determines, like, how I get along with her. Wow. You know, when I stopped imagining women as gold diggers, yeah, I didn't mind her going through my wallet then. You know, I'm imagining her going through my wallet every day and me not minding it.
I got my own. Thanks, so.
Radio. What's this? Oh, that's a 4-year-old business card from who? Can't fucking read it. Do you want it? Yeah. Might need it someday.
Cool, excellent.
Alrighty.
All right. So that was for Marsha. Thank you very much.
Triple
for
D
your question.
Lisa, yo. Have I given you a yo yet today? Yo.
I don't think you did. Yeah.
All right. Doobie-doo
All
bop,
right.
bop, bop, bop.
And the next question's from Juliet.
Jumpin' Juliet.
Jumpin' Juliet. Daily work. Juliet asks, I'm coming to understand that this is daily work. Play, isn't it? Even when you get what you want. Is it possible to lose it if the state is not maintained?
This is cool. Notice how this showed up earlier in
You
a different
did,
way, right?
yeah.
So there's 2 states I'm not there's 3 states I don't like. The first one is waiter, right? People that wait. I imagine. Well, see, I'm going to wait and do a session later when I've got time. But I'm worried that I'm going to wait for my wish to come true. So how to speed it up? And I can't wait for you to get back to me. But I'm not going to send this email till tomorrow after I proofread it 9 times. Right? So that's just a state that humors me. On the other hand, there's 2 other states that humor me as well. One's called the Mananager.
Mananager,
right?
Mananager.
Right? So somebody hashtag it. Mananager. I'm not a fan of managing anything, right? So when you're managing, your middles show up and you got to like keep things going. Would you believe some people want to hire me to be their accountability coach? Right? I'm not good at accountability, right? Either you're going to fucking do it or you're not, right? Yeah, I don't get the whole thing of like, beat me, whip me. You know, it's like, no. I got better shit to do, right? But anyway, manager. So, you don't got to manage anything. You don't got to manage your states. You don't have to. And the second one is maintenance man. You know, the manager and the maintenance man, like they tend to be related. Like we had Tom Woolery. I love Tom Woolery back at Geibel High School. And he was the maintenance man. And poor fucking guy.
I don't know how you can say it like that. Maintenance. I get tongue twisted when I don't say the word right.
See, Victoria comes up to the car while I'm putting on rap this morning because I'm practicing my rap when I go to see the crap walking the dogs, not with the hogs, right? And so I'm practicing my rap on the way to the park and all that good stuff. And so it's like, all right, this is fun. But she comes up to the car. And meanwhile, like when I'm not playing rap and stuff, I'm going, manager, maintenance man, Colby, Triple D, yo. Meanwhile,
yeah,
your entire world, right? You put what you put on the plate, what you put on the plate with an imaginal act. What stays on the plate stays on the plate with an imaginal act. What can you consume off the plate, consume with an imaginal act. And what you tell the waiter to take away, he takes away because of an imaginal act. The cool thing is, none of this is work. See, I don't maintain my state of loving husband.
No.
Right? Sometimes she has to maintain being the state of happy wife. Let's just be blunt. She just shakes her head like,
well, what 27.
Yeah, what is his problem today? Right? Yeah, but you know what his problem is? Manager. Because any of us can slip into any state at any time. And the big key is noticing, are you in a state that you choose or in a state where you lose? And if you're in a state where you lose, move. right? Moving's fun. It's sort of like when I wake up in the morning, like some of y'all know my morning routines. I do my Joseph Goddard, 5 to 10, 6 to 11, yada, yada, yada. Sometimes 12 things I'll nail before I get out of bed. But I'm also like, I wiggle my hips around. I do a little bridging, a little rolling. Like I loosen up the things, right? Mark Darkery. Yeah. So, but it's never work. It's never work. Think about this. As a child, we talked about this whole thing where you learned a language without knowing a language. You learned how to walk without knowing how to walk. You learn through wiggles, right? And it's sort of like that whole thing with, in Dream Driven Day, I realized the other day, one of the things that shows up is what I'll just call the spirit of the circus. Just doing silly things to stretch, that totally rock your world. Dream Driven Day is not a serious program. Dream Driven Day is a stretching program. It helps you to wiggle it in different ways, right? And that's what's fun, because if you make this work, you're not doing what I teach. If you let it be fun, if you discover how to let it be fun, wow. So is it a daily thing? And I love the way you structured it, because you said daily work, I mean play, because it is daily something. Right? If you're not playing daily, like and playing daily doesn't mean I've imagined the lottery wins 72 days in a row, 7 times for 7 minutes and 7 seconds. No. What can I give life to today? How can I give life to something new, fun, exciting, cool today? Right? I got a birthday gift. Hoo-ha. I got something else going. In the waiting. All right, what's next?
So that was for Juliet. Thanks very much for your question.
That was a very good question.
Was it?
I thought so.
Everyone else take note that wrote questions. Okay. And the last one today is from Dream Driven Dave. Is that Diamond Dave?
Dream Driven Day, Diamond Dave.
Diamond Dave.
It's Dream Driven
What's
Day,
his dog's name
Diamond
again?
Dave.
Beamer.
Beamer. Watch this. Beamer, sit. Beamer. Come on, boy. Come on. Beamer. See, let's all drive Dave's dog nuts, right? Beamer. Come on, buddy. Come on, Beamer. Shit, Beamer.
Shit in the corner.
Shit, no. Go ahead. Go Pistol. Good boy.
Okay.
Love you, Dave.
Diamond Dave asks, I love to shop. So will my end be having the desires, bypassing the fun in acquiring them?
I love this one in context to the other ones, right? Because what's the end? See, I love shooting, right? Back in the old days, I loved shooting. I could get a box of bullets and go out and shoot every weekend, right? But now, right? Yeah, it's where I grew up. It's what I did, right? So I'd go to the library, I'd buy a couple used books, take them out to the landfill and go shooting, rooting, tooting, shooting, right? Now, I never had a goal of being a marksman.
No.
Right? Some people are like that. My buddy Vince, right? He's the guy, right? Like, Vince, spooky with a handgun, right? Me, I'm spooky with a finger jab, right? but there's the cool thing. I just enjoyed shooting, right? So what's your end? That's the Lisa says I'm a great shot. Hoo-ha. Yeah. You always put when you have a dating profile. Right? Yeah. I'm looking for a man who's honest, and I'm a great shot.
Yeah.
Pair things together that give a little bit of tension and intrigue, right? So, and by the way, I'm not saying Lisa needs a profile or a dating profile or not, just to be clear, right? So, but ain't it cool though? Seriously, Lisa says love it. Isn't it cool?
Yeah, I love it too. I was a really good shot too.
Except Victoria would do this. Yeah, by the way, I dated a girl once. I took her out to shoot.
What? What are you saying?
No, I'm not saying you did.
You don't know how I shot.
No, I know. This is why we walked away from that one quick.
Yeah.
Right? I was hoping you wouldn't catch out to the edits, right? So I once taught a girl how to shoot, and we go out and I say, right, here's a K2, right? So we put a book at chest height. She goes boom, and shoots down about 4 feet too low. I'm like, oh, that's not good, right? Yeah. She's shooting in the wrong place.
The dick.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, that was deliberate.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, Dave, what's your real end? If your real end is to enjoy shopping, by the way, let's notice something, right? I've got 2 ends when it comes to shopping and stuff, right? Yeah. Maybe 3. 1, I love shit coming to my door, right? You ever want to see me go ape shit, right?
It just came.
Yeah, something just came, right? But I go ape shit when they take shit to the wrong place, or when they say, we tried, but you weren't home. I'm always
How was it? We got, like, it was expensive, like the Apple Mac, like the iMac, the big screen
Yeah,
one.
the nice one.
massive thousands of dollars. It got delivered to our neighbour.
Right.
And then Apple sends him we didn't know. And the
Right.
neighbour didn't tell us because he didn't know. He just thought it was for his son or
Right.
something. And then Apple sends you an email. Oh, it's all
Yeah.
delivered.
Hey, enjoy your new computer we
Where?
just delivered. So I called him up. I says, Apple, how you doing? Let me talk to Steve-O. Right? And so they put Steve-O on the phone. I said, Steve-O, hey, where is it? I said, oh, you signed for it. I said, oh, yeah, cool. What name did I sign? And they said, Ron. I said, oh, wonderful.
No, they're on.
So I went over. I picked Ron's lock. Yeah, went in.
He's loaded. So I know. And he just thought it was for Luke. He didn't
Yeah, he
even
thought it was
bother
for his
looking
son,
at it.
right? He said, yeah, I thought one of my sons ordered this. Right? So I
like,
went and
right.
noticed, hey, Ron, any chance you got a computer? I said, yeah, I got a computer. Any chance you got a new one in a box from Apple? Yeah, it just came. Yeah, that's mine. Oh, I thought it was my son's. All right.
I know.
See, but you see, I go nuts when shit doesn't come to my house. So I started imagining something different, right? So I do love to shop. I love when shit gets to my house, and I love when I'm satisfied with it, right? So you should hear me on Amazon.com.au. I'm like a 12-year-old on a porn site.
Yeah.
Right?
Every day.
I'm breathing heavy. I'm clicking on photos. She walks past today and she goes,
I couldn't help myself. Because I saw like another stand for the microphone. Like when we've got like it on a free stand for when we do calls and stuff. We've already got one order, maybe even two.
we got a couple.
Yeah.
She
We've
doesn't
got a
even-
couple. I walked past to bring my empty coffee cup out from after having it in bed.
Yeah, and she's like, what are you
And
doing
it's like,
looking at porn?
What's that? What are you doing?
What are you looking at?
Because he's on Amazon. He's looking at this thing. It's like, no more stands. Like, we got stands everywhere. We got roto lights. We got, oh, God.
It's wonderful.
Anyway, he said, it's all right. I'm just looking.
Yeah, they
oh, sorry.
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, they pixeled me. It came up. I'll study the way it's configured out and so on and so forth. But I love looking on Amazon.com. So that's one of my things. By the way, when Amazon.com.au came here, they had like 7 things, and they were all like 10 times the price they should have been.
Although, yeah,
It was
really
horrible,
crappy.
right?
Yeah.
But when the COVID hit, they figured out, hey, let's fix
Actually
Amazon.com.au
make
up,
some
right?
money here. Yeah.
So Amazon.com.au became good. So that's one of my desires. Just enjoy the shopping experience. And they'll remind me, you haven't ordered zinc in a long time. It's like, I love what happens when I have zinc. Ooh.
Yeah.
So order me some zinc, right? So it tells me to add things to my basket. I just love that. And then it's like, where do you want it sent? It's like, to my door. And I know it's coming. I get to celebrate that. And in the rare time where I get something I don't like we got, or I'm not satisfied with, like we got a printer print ink thing.
Oh, print cartridge, yeah.
That didn't work.
Hewlett Packard, like
Right?
sealed box.
Yeah,
Yep.
sealed box, it was genuine HP parts, all that
yeah.
bullshit. And long story short, put it in, didn't work. Put it in, didn't work. Did all the troubleshooting, spent way too much time doing that bullshit. And to send it back, I push one button, it prints out a little QR code, and it says, take this and your piece of shit to the post office.
Yeah.
And I said, Victoria, take this and that piece of shit to the post
I
office. And she did, and it went away. And like 10 minutes later, they give me my money back.
Yeah, and no,
How cool is
we didn't have
that?
to pay for postage,
No
envelope,
bullshit,
nothing.
right?
Yeah,
So I've got these multiple desires,
yeah.
and none of them are middles. To me, they're all fun. So if you like having the shit, that's a desire. If you like shopping for the shit, that's a desire. If you like someone like carrying it around with you, named Jeeves. Jeeves, carry my shit. Oh, yes, Diamond Dave. I will carry your shit, sir.
That would be nice.
That's a desire, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy them. So, great question, Dave, and I love how it balances out the rest of the show.
Yeah. Excellent.
All right.
Thank you, Diamond Dave and Beamer.
Boom.
So, what we'd like to know is tell us what was your hashtag strawberry bit.
All right. What was your strawberry
Well,
sizzle bit?
mine's a weird one. It's sort of twofold. The delivery man. Because, sorry, it was like a little intermission break. Everyone was like, oh my God, what was that? But I loved how, and of course I love the fact that I'm so early for your birth. Have you ever been this early? I've never been this early. It's February still. Oh, sorry, it's March. Okay, I ordered it in February, but like you're not till April, so it's like
Yeah, we're
I'm
way
so
ahead.
early. It's fantastic. But the best bit was how it was like an example for. You went on to say when you hear the knock at the door, are you thinking it's the sheriff?
Is
Are you
it the
thinking,
sheriff,
what are you thinking
or is
it
it the
is?
Amazon guy?
Yeah, and it was like didn't go there. Just showed how, some people live in that sort of fear or anxious
Totally,
state.
absolutely.
Whereas, yeah, I just knew.
By the way, if you want to use revision, right, to go back to the earlier question, and hopefully Manifesting Mastery Marcus is still here later when he watches it on the refund. So you could always, like, radio. So if I was concerned about the sheriff knocking on the door, and I'm not saying Marcus has, by the way, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Right? But,
Yes.
so if you've had the sheriff knock on the door, so I was like, fuck, man, like, because I got a guy. He emails me last week. He goes, I'm tired of the bill collectors calling me. And I told him, I said, change your number. Right? He goes, well, my 4 friends won't be able to call me. He says, you can tell them.
Your new number.
Right? They'll be
Yeah.
happy for you. Right?
Yeah.
So meanwhile, if you've got a trauma experience of the mailman coming or someone knocking on the door, revise it. What's the mailman bringing? Stuff. Okay, right?
Goodie shop
Goodie,
stuff, Dave.
goodie shit, right?
Yeah.
The Post even asked her the other day. She said, "If you're not here or whatever, can I leave your shit?" Victoria says, "Of course, right?"
Yeah.
Because I don't like going to the post office, right?
Yeah.
I love the ladies there; they're adorable. And the tall guy, I mean, I just want to beep him on the nose, but we got protective glass everywhere now, so you can't do that.
Spit glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So you could revise, right? If the bill collectors have been calling, right? Yeah, revise that. Yeah, it's somebody calling to give you something. It's calling. It's your neighbor calling saying, "I got another computer here."
Yeah.
Yeah, I collect them all. Right? Apple came out with a new fucking chip.
Right.
Radio. So that's my strawberry bit. Literally, how you brought it in the real life thing. How we can take that real life thing right now and use that as a great example to answer a couple of the questions as well.
Well, that was mine.
I know.
And I said all that at the
Yeah,
beginning.
and I'm running with yours.
Oh, right. You're copying.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should be flattered.
I'm joking.
It's like when I dress
I
up
am
like you.
flattered.
Right?
Dress up like me.
I'm Victoria. I'm Victoria.
When you dress up in
I'm
my
Victoria.
clothes.
I'm Victoria.
Okay,
All
so
right.
that was our hashtag Strawberry Bits. While you type in yours, go to freeneville.com.
221 email pseudo.
Random goodness. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right. And right now, Dream Driven Day, the doors are open. If you've done it once, do it again. Why not? If you haven't done it, go check out. We've got about 700 posts over the last 2 years in the Law of Attraction by Neville Goddard group.
Chris
Labeled.
Nelson's there.
Yes, Chris
And
Nelson.
when you go to the new Dream Driven Day,
Yeah, you'll see
page,
you'll see
one
you'll see all his
testimonial at the top.
hairs right
Chris
up the
Nelson's.
top, right?
Yeah.
Now here's what's cool, guys. In all seriousness, if we're getting an average of 2 posts a day from Dream Driven Day members, right? Do you think it fucking works, or do you think you want to wait? That's right.
Yeah.
Did you know Billy made, I believe it was Yasser Arafat, wait in the garden while Monica gave him a Hummer? I mean, we're talking the peace in the Middle East, and Billy's saying, "You can wait in the garden. I'm getting one right now." So
Serious?
seriously, yeah, it came out.
How do they know that?
That came out in a congressional hearing. Like
Monica
yeah.
said she was doing
yeah,
that.
yeah. It all depends what your definition of
Is.
is. You know, we've talked about that. Anyway,
Wow.
yep.
Sorry, yes, Arafat, whatever your name was.
Yeah, I think it was Arafat. Anyway, yeah, one of the biggies from the Middle East was in the garden. He's home. You got to wait because Billy's busy. Swear to God. Yep.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right.
Okay, you guys.
I think that's all I got today.
Yeah, have a great day, night, weekend.
Uma,
And we'll be back in
Ego
a
says,
few
DDD
days.
rocks. Oh,
It
yeah.
does,
Tabitha.
Hello.
All right, that's it. Gotta go. Lisa, Dream Driven Day. You and I did an awesome thingy do too. A couple of us have.
Talk. Yeah.
Talk like a man.
Conversation.
Talk like a man.
See you.
Arafat was waiting. You know, there's going to be somebody looking it up on Snopes right now. It wasn't proven.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but air fat didn't look in the windows.